Welcome back to The Survival Historian, where we explore the raw intersection of human endurance and the forces that shaped our world. Today, we're digging deep, not into survival shelters or battlefield tactics, but into something far more ancient and equally compelling. Why do we still risk everything for a shiny, inert metal? For millennia, civilizations have fought wars, built empires, and worshipped gods, all because of gold. What primal instinct links our modern obsession to the ancient world's first glimmers of discovery? Prepare to unearth the surprisingly deep roots of humanity's golden addiction. Picture this: a prehistoric human crouches beside a rushing stream somewhere in the Neolithic world, sifting through gravel and sediment. Suddenly, something catches the light, a flash of yellow that doesn't fade, doesn't dull, doesn't disappear. It's a gold nugget, pure and natural, requiring no fire or forge to reveal its brilliance. This moment, replicated thousands of times across continents, marks humanity's first encounter with a metal that would reshape our destiny. Gold was likely among the first metals our ancestors discovered precisely because it exists in nature in its pure, elemental form. Unlike copper that oxidizes to green or iron that rusts to brown, gold remains eternally golden. This permanence triggered something deep in the human psyche, a recognition that this substance was fundamentally different from everything else the earth offered. The weight of it, dense and satisfying in the palm, the way it could be hammered and shaped without breaking, the mesmerizing warmth of its color, reminiscent of sunlight itself. These qualities weren't just aesthetically pleasing, they spoke to something primal about survival and status in the emerging social structures of early human communities. The oldest known gold artifacts, unearthed from the Varna necropolis in modern Bulgaria, date back to between 4700 and 4200 BCE. These weren't crude lumps of metal, they were sophisticated jewelry, ceremonial weapons, and decorative pieces that revealed a society already deeply invested in gold's symbolic power. Scarcity transformed beauty into value. While other materials could adorn, gold's rarity made possession itself a statement. A gold bracelet wasn't just decoration. It was a declaration of access to something precious, a visible marker that separated the wearer from common people. The metal's extraordinary malleability meant artisans could craft increasingly intricate designs, pushing the boundaries of what was technically possible and creating objects that seemed to transcend ordinary craftsmanship. But perhaps most significantly, gold's unchanging nature, its resistance to the decay that claimed everything else, began to take on deeper meaning. In a world where wood rotted, fabrics disintegrated, and even stone weathered away, gold remained pristine. This eternal quality made it the perfect metaphor for concepts that ancient peoples were just beginning to articulate: immortality, divinity, and power that transcended mortal limitations. Ancient Egypt elevated gold to the realm of the divine. They called it the flesh of the gods, believing that their deity's skin was made of this incorruptible substance. The sun god Ra, source of all life, was intrinsically linked to gold through its solar brilliance. When pharaohs were entombed, they were covered in gold, from the legendary burial mask of Tutankhamun to gold leaf adorning coffins and sarcophagi, ensuring their transformation into immortal beings. The Egyptians weren't alone in this sacred association. Across Mesopotamia, the Indus Valley, and later in the Americas, gold became the primary medium through which humans attempted to commune with higher powers. The Incas called it the sweat of the sun, using it exclusively for religious ceremonies and offerings. Temples gleamed with gold, not merely for ostentation, but because this was the material language through which mortals could speak to immortals. This religious integration created a feedback loop that exponentially increased gold's perceived value. It wasn't just rare and beautiful, it was holy. To possess gold was to hold a fragment of divine power, to demonstrate the god's favor, to claim legitimacy that transcended mere human authority. The transition from sacred symbol to economic instrument marked a pivotal moment in human history. Around 600 BCE, the Lydians of Anatolia minted the first standardized gold coins, transforming abstract value into something portable, divisible, and universally recognized. This innovation revolutionized trade across the Mediterranean and beyond. Gold's unique properties, durability, portability, intrinsic beauty, and global recognition made it the ideal currency for expanding empires. Rome fueled its conquests with gold, using it to pay legions, finance infrastructure, and establish economic dominance. Control of gold mines became a strategic imperative that shaped military campaigns and political alliances. The Roman extraction of gold from mines across their empire, from Spain to Egypt, required massive infrastructure and labor forces, creating economic systems that persisted for centuries. The ancient Silk Road flourished, partly because gold provided a universal medium of exchange that transcended linguistic and cultural barriers. A gold coin minted in Rome held value in the markets of Chang'an. This universality made gold the first truly global currency, facilitating trade networks that connected disparate civilizations and enabled the exchange of goods, ideas, and technologies that accelerated human development. Standing here in the present, we can trace an unbroken golden thread connecting those first gleaming nuggets in prehistoric streams to the sophisticated financial systems that govern our modern world. Gold still underpins international monetary reserves, it still adorns us, still symbolizes achievement and permanence. The wedding ring tradition spans cultures precisely because gold represents eternal commitment through its unchanging nature. Yet perhaps the most fascinating aspect of our golden obsession is what it reveals about human psychology and survival strategy. Gold offered no immediate survival advantage. You couldn't eat it, build with it effectively, or fashion superior weapons from it. Yet humans recognized its power to facilitate social survival through trade, to establish hierarchies that maintained order, and to create shared systems of value that allowed complex civilizations to flourish. Our ancestors understood something profound. Survival isn't just about shelter and sustenance, it's about creating stable societies, establishing trust through common currencies, and building institutions that outlast individual lifetimes. Gold, eternal and incorruptible, became the perfect tool for this higher form of survival, the survival of civilization itself. The story of gold is ultimately a story of human ingenuity, adaptation, and our remarkable ability to transform raw materials into cultural cornerstones that shape the trajectory of entire civilizations. If you found this journey into the deep roots of human history compelling, hit that like button, share this video with fellow history enthusiasts, and subscribe to The Survival Historian. We'll continue exploring how the challenges of the past forged the resilience and innovations we depend on today. Until next time, stay curious, stay resilient, and remember, history isn't just about survival, it's about understanding what we chose to survive for.